Hi everybody, what I'm going to do right now, hey everyone, this is the Thrifty Thriving Crafter, and what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to make a Valentine's Day centerpiece with all of these items here. I'm actually going to make 2 or 3 of them. I actually have a tin up there that I plan on possibly using. I got that from the dollar store, I don't know how many years ago, and I've just had it, and I came across it and I figured, oh, I'm going to make another centerpiece with it too, probably. But for right now, I just went to the store and I bought all these items. I bought a little bit more than I probably should have, but I always like to have more than have less because I don't want to go back. This block here, you can easily cut into 2 pieces to put into these vases, or I'm going to try for 3 because I want to try to put something in that tin as well because I have more than enough stuff here. This I have to put around the vases to make it look very pretty, and these will obviously go inside of the vases to make it look like it's a little bit of a charms. But everything here you see I bought from the dollar store. This is the only thing that I did not purchase from the dollar store. I've had this for years. I bought it from Walmart for around $5, but everything else here is from $1. And as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. I have about 20 bucks here, and I'm going to try to make 3 vases out of this, including that one that's over there. So I guess you could say 21 because I bought that from the past. But the next step that I'm actually going to do, which I'm going to show off the camera for this, is I'm going to cut all of these flowers. And what I mean by that is I'm going to take this and cut it right here because we don't need this big thing. It's kind of obnoxious, and when I like to put them in the vases, I like to stick them where I want. I don't like them to be clustered like this. So this is why I kind of mentioned earlier that I probably spent more than I should have, because I really don't need all of this stuff. That's why I figured I'm going to try to get a 3rd centerpiece made. But the idea behind this is that you can make anything for anybody, for any occasion. You can make it even nicer than inside the store, and you can find all this stuff at the dollar store. So if you're really thinking about it, one vase costs about 10 bucks, probably less, because we're not going to use all the materials that are here. So for 3 centerpieces for $21, that's nothing. So let me cut all these and I'll get back to showing you what I'm going to do next. Hey everybody, we are back. So I made sure that I cut every one of these. It took me probably about 15 minutes to do this. I used wire snippers. They're easier. You don't have to go out and buy these. This is something that you can just like go into your dad's toolbox and grab, so it's not one extra expense that you have. And as you can see, I took them all off of the stems and just cut them at the base of the stem, and then we'll throw this part away. The other thing that I did while we were on break is that I cut this cube in the very beginning that we had, and I cut them just like with a regular steak knife, so it's really easy to do. And I cut them and I fit them into the jars, and they're in there pretty snug, which is pretty nice. And then these leftovers I might use possibly later to put inside of here to make another vase. Now just keep in mind, you don't have to use everything that is here. We're not going to use the glue gun until the very, very end, and that's just to use the ribbon to put on to here, and that's only if you decide to. So I'm still not 100% sure with what I'm going to do for colors and if I'm going to use everything here, but I do know that I'm going to want to put these in first before I put the flowers in, because they'll just make it that much easier. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick them around here to make it look nice. I decided to go with both colors. Now keep in mind, you don't have to use these. We're going to be putting this ribbon around it. So I mean, you really don't have to put these hearts in here if you don't want to. I just saw them at the dollar store and I thought, hey, what a cool little idea. I'm just going to throw them in there, and they're only $1 a piece. So now I'm going to start sticking my flowers in. I have no rhyme or reason to do that. Pretty much I'm just going to take one and just stick it in. And that's basically how you do it. And you just kind of go all the way around with your different ones and use whatever colors you want. I'm just going to kind of play around with it and see what I like to make 2 of them. And depending on what I have left over, I might make a 3rd one, or I might use the flowers to make a wreath. So far, As you can see, my cat's watching me. She's my little supervisor. She keeps me in line here. I just chose one color so far in both of them, and you see how I did that? I kind of just separated them. That's why I like to cut these separately, so you can put them where you want them. And you can kind of fluff the flowers later if you want. But that's just to give you an idea, and I did that in just 2 seconds, really quickly. Snap, snap, snap. So we'll move on. So far I have these in their vases, like so. And now what I did was I plugged in my glue gun, and I am going to tie these to the glasses, and I'm going to make a bow in the front, and I will cut this in half. So there's one for this one and one for the other one. Don't mind my little kitty, Madam Mim. But just showing you, this is what I did for leftovers. You don't have to have, you can use everything if you want, or you don't have to use, you know, as much as I did for these two. But I just wanted to make them look really kind of full. These, I might put in here, but I'm thinking I'm going to use them for the next wreath that I'm making, which I'll show you guys later. So if you really think about it, this was $1 right here, this was $1 right here. This was $1, and I used bits and pieces of this one. So I mean, if you take the $21 or whatever and minus this, these 3 things right here, right now that's, you know, about 17 bucks that I made 2 vases for. So I'll show you the ending piece, and I mean, like, I save all my materials just in case I want to use it for something else. So I'm going to cut this in half, I'm going to glue it to the vases, and I'll show you what I'm doing next. Thanks. So one thing you're going to notice with crafting is there's a lot of trial and error. And what I mean by that is, I started putting the glue on here, and you can kind of see the glue behind it, and I don't like it. And I was trying to get the ribbon to go up against the glass. So we're going to cover it up. And I'm going to put a bow on each side just to cover that up so no one notices. But I didn't realize, not thinking about it, that when I bought this ribbon, you can see through it with the glue. So I'll show you what that looks like after I make a bow with the remaining ribbon. So sometimes you got to change your direction, and you notice that something's not working that well. And I noticed that on this vase, you can see the glue really well. And I don't like that. It just looks really tacky. So I decided, I had something from a previous purchase. I bought this for $1. It was actually at Target, but I know I've seen something similar to this at the dollar store. I just didn't purchase it. So you can actually get this at the dollar store. But what I did was I covered up all the glue with it. So I have it on the ribbon and covered up all the glue with it, and then I'm going to take my bow and I'm going to stick it right on there, because it looked kind of funny with just the bow being on there. It didn't cover it up good enough. And then I'm going to do the same exact thing to this side, and I'm going to do that on my other vase as well. And if I have any leftovers of this, I'm going to stick it around the ribbon to make it look more symmetrical. So then there are 2 finished products, and everywhere I made a mistake. Yeah, so here are the 2 finished products, and this one I kind of put a little hearts around because, you know, when you craft sometimes you make mistakes, but you can cover them up really easily with cool little designs, like I did with 2 bows. And then this one, I did just the 1 bow. You would never guess that there was a mistake made. And if you want to, you can make the centerpieces where you can like fluff them out so it looks fuller and prettier. But I got 2 of them done. I got leftovers there. Packed glue that I already had. All for under 10 bucks.